Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to online class number 6 for literature, where we're looking at chapter 14 of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. So last time in chapter 13, we saw Edmund finally restored back to his brothers and sisters. He'd said sorry, they'd accepted him, Aslan had accepted him. It seemed that everything would be okay again. However, towards the end of chapter 13, we come across some rather big problems. And the problems are based on the fact that there are consequences of Edmund's betrayal of the others. We're going to look at some of those consequences now today that lead us into chapter 14. So at the end of chapter 13, I'm just going to summarise now. The witch reminds Aslan that Edmund has betrayed him. She says on page 152, "You have a traitor there, Aslan." And she also says on page 153, "Every traitor belongs to me as my lawful prey, and that for every treachery I have a right to a kill." So that means that somebody who has betrayed you, they're called a traitor, belongs to the witch as her prey. Now, prey in this context, P-R-E-Y is the spelling, is something that an animal catches to eat. That's the meaning of the word prey. So that means that anybody who has betrayed somebody else belongs to the witch as her property, not so she can eat them really, but so that she can kill them. She has the right to a kill. So she has a right to Edmund's life. The witch continues and says, "That human creature is mine. His life is forfeit to me. His blood is my property." So even though things seem to have been made okay with Edmund, they weren't at all, because the witch still legally had the right to Edmund's life. But surely Aslan wouldn't hand Edmund back over to the witch, would he? Well, let's look at his response. He says to the witch, "It is very true. I do not deny it." And then he goes off and he has a walk with her. And they talk about something, another conversation that is private. It's between Aslan and the witch, and we don't know what's said. But we know that when they came back, the witch was smiling in triumph, and Aslan said these words. He said, "I have settled the matter. She has renounced the claim on your brother's blood." That means that he's resolved it, and the witch will no longer try to take Edmund's life. Okay, so somehow Aslan has managed to settle it. And we leave the end of chapter 13 wondering, what has Aslan done? What has he said to her to make her change her mind? Okay, and then we go into chapter 14. And chapter 14, the title of it is The Triumph of the Witch. Okay, now what we see in this chapter is a rather different Aslan from the powerful, strong lion that we've seen before. He seems to be very different. He seems to be in a different mood. And what I'd like you to do is just read again from the beginning of the chapter. And if you've got this book, it's on page 57. So read again from the beginning of the chapter, page 157, to the end of page 167, where it says, "Do not let yourselves be seen, farewell." Okay, and that's at the point where Aslan leaves Lucy and Susan and goes off. Okay, so just read again those few pages. I'd like you to do a task when you're reading. Take a pencil, and I'd like you to underline in the book all the evidence in the text that Aslan is in a different mood or is sad in some way. Underline in the text any evidence of Aslan being somehow sad or in a different mood to the way that we saw him before. Okay, pause the video. Okay, you should in your book have been able to underline quite a few different lines that show that Aslan was in a different mood. A few examples for you that I've got in my book here. At one point it says, Aslan said in a dull voice. So his voice was down and it was dull, not his usual strong, powerful voice. It also says, his tail and his head hung low. So his tail was low and his head was hung down like this. All right. So he just seems to be down, doesn't he? And then at one point when Lucy and Susan, the children, the girls, ask him, "What's the matter, Aslan?" he said straight out, "I am sad and lonely." So I hope you've managed to underline those examples, and you should have lots more examples. There's quite a lot of evidence in here that Aslan was very sad. And we soon see why he was so sad. Aslan, the great and powerful king, is about to go and give himself up and surrender to the White Witch. And that's what we see happening at the end of the chapter. And that's why we understand that this chapter is called The Triumph of the Witch. And we actually see Aslan going up to the stone table, and the witch and her ugly band of creatures, of ghouls and hags and minotaurs and the others, capture Aslan and kill him. So, task for you now. What I'd like you to do, first of all, is in notebooks, Aslan, when he leaves the girls and goes to the witch does a few different things before she actually kills him. And the task is coming up now on your screen. I'd like you to make a list of what the witch does to Aslan before killing him. Okay, so she does a few nasty things to him before she actually kills. So see if you can make a list in your book of what she does. I've given you the first one, and the first one is that they tied him up, they bound him tight with rope. Okay, so pause the video and make a list of the things they do to Aslan before they kill him. Okay, and we've got 2 more questions for you to have a look at and to write answers for in your notebooks. Why do you think the witch and her followers humiliated Aslan before killing him? So humiliated means made fun of and made him feel small. Okay, why do you think the witch and her followers did that before killing him? Little paragraph answer in your book. And the last question, I'd like you to think about Lucy and Susan, who were hiding in the bushes watching what was going on. How would you feel if you were Lucy and Susan watching what was going on there? Okay, so write those in your notebooks, and don't forget to take a picture and to send it to me. Homework for this lesson is to continue reading, and I'd like you to read chapters 15 and 16 If you'd like, you can read to the end of the book, because chapter 17 is the last chapter there. But definitely chapters 15 and 16 ready for next time. Well done, and see you later.